subject you must not fear if you want to succeed as an entrepreneur. This is podcast part 1 from the posts of Dr. Masiyiwa. Mathematics allows for no hypocrisy and no vagueness. If you don't know how to read accounts, you will end up at the witch doctor. I once knew an older gentleman who ran a very successful trading business by the standards of his time. He had shops, warehouses, farms, and a large family. Then the economy of the country began to slow down, and soon there was hyperinflation. The impact on his business did not come at once, but soon he was struggling, and he began to see me to unload and vent. I don't know where my money is going. People are stealing from me. I also suspect I have been bewitched. Since we were related, I felt an obligation to try and help. So I asked him the following: would it be possible for me and you to sit down with your accountants, so I can get an understanding of your financials? To which he answered, I have a bookkeeper who keeps the records for the tax people. It's another relative. I have to be careful, and besides, you have to manage those government guys. I am sorry, unless I can see a proper set of financial statements, I cannot even begin to show you how must be done, was my stern reply. My nephew, if you are really interested in helping me, just call the bank and give them a guarantee of a loan. I will pay back, he pleaded. I will not do so unless I see your financials, period. I don't want to pour money into a black hole, I declared. Despite, he finally relented and allowed me to see a rather unimpressive bookkeeper. It was a mess. Before he died, his relative had found solace in seeing witch doctors and so-called prophets. He was also running for elected office so that he could have power against his creditors. Today, there is nothing of what he built. We all know someone like that, and I have a message for them. No one is stealing your money, and if they are, it is because you have no financial literacy yourself. No witch doctor or medicine man ever made anyone rich in the history of mankind on the planet. As you make plans to scale up this year, mastering financial literacy should be top on your list, which of course includes at least basic maths. The fact is, fear of numbers paralyzes a lot of people. In part, this is because maths teaching is often not up to standards in the formative years. This is something we need to recognize and work on urgently in our schools and homes if our children are to drive the next wealth creation revolution. I would rather you speak bad English or French as a second language and yet be able to do your maths than the other way around. Calculating percentages, for example, is something every entrepreneur must be able to do, even if you are just selling tomatoes. These are the first numbers of any business. It is non-negotiable. If I ask you, what is your profit margin? You must be able to flash back in an instant. What is your growth rate? Revenue? Volume? What percentage of your operating cost is salaries? Can you sustain a conversation on your business that is based purely on numbers? All too often, I meet younger entrepreneurs and they cannot even calculate the percentage increase in price that they just added to their product or service. Don't say things like, I was not very good at maths in school and so I can't do percentages. I have known entrepreneurs who barely went to school able to do business percentages. No excuse here. Time to go and learn this and more. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Benjamin Franklin. Skill up, knowledge up. If there are 9 rabbits on the ground and you want to catch one, just focus on one. Jack Ma. Afterthought. Mathematics is not about numbers, equations, computations, or algorithms. It is about understanding. William Paul Thurston. One of the best CEOs I ever met used to say to me, strive. There are 2 kinds of accountants, a good accountant and a great accountant. A good accountant ensures that the numbers are accurate and on time. A great accountant shows you how to solve problems using the numbers. When Econet was still small and growing fast, we always had cash flow problems. Our accounting department was overwhelmed. I was getting all the numbers in front of me, but I could not understand why we had such chronic shortage of cash. Then I hired one of the top accountants as CFO. His name was Rugale Chidembo, and he had held the position for a major multinational. He took the accounts and studied them. Then he came to me, we are not managing our creditors properly. We are a big company now, and people should not be demanding cash payments. I have set down rules, minimum 30 days, and anyone who does business with us must accept. He called all the suppliers and demanded price cuts. Within the company itself, he imposed strict discipline on payments and cash management. He had been trained in the power of process in the 3 P's, which is why big multinationals are big. We had so much cash, it was embarrassing. And that was only the beginning. Next, he called the banks. You want our business? There is a new sheriff in town. I never knew you could dictate to banks like that. Don't try it until you know what you are doing. Rugare Chidembo was a great accountant until he retired, was my enforcer. If I said to a soccer fan that my team will win tonight's game 15-0, they will burst out laughing. Why? Because it should not happen in soccer. But in our public economic discourse, It is not unusual to see people say things with numbers that are just as ridiculous. Journalists who know nothing about finance write things about business and companies that are crazy, and no one laughs. Why? We don't want to engage with numbers on economics and finance seriously. I remember a top political candidate say, "When I am a president, we will double the size of the GDP in 12 months. No one said anything. He should be locked up somewhere out of harm's way. Politicians and commentators are allowed to say totally outlandish things on finance and economics that leave me totally dumbstruck at times. When arrogance and ignorance meet together, mayhem is sure to follow. Anon. When liquid was still small, it had a number of very exciting products. One product in particular was very popular with other largest customers. It accounted for most of the sales volumes, but it also had the lowest margin. The problem of us was we did not have much cash, and the large customers took 60 days to pay. They had power. We had other products which were much smaller but had far much higher margins. We could not grow them because all our cash was tied up in the low margin product. If we cannot address our low margin, we have to consider whether this is a business we want to be in, explained the CFO. The sales guys were very upset because of all the prestige. To get out of the business literacy meant downsizing our business by over 70%. Seeing the numbers, we decided to pull the plug. What followed was 2 or 3 years of painful adjustments and acrimony. Business was totally downsized until it had just a handful of people and customers. Some people thought we had gone out of business, but every day I met with management and we discussed the numbers. The rest is history, as they say. The high margin product grew quickly, and we also had a better control of customer payments. The business recovered and then grew rapidly. You see, this kind of thing happen all the time with businesses on Marcus Lemone's profit. That is why you must watch it to see entrepreneurs make tough decisions that lead to real growth. When you see me act one way or the other, I had seen something in the numbers. Reflection. A lesson. When I told another president, "Can you give me one idea I can take to help small businesses today?" Impose a requirement that ensures that all small suppliers to government are paid within 30 days. I said. Without laughing, I added, it is also a way to grow the economy and keep stable employment. When a powerful institution and state-owned entities like government does not pay its own suppliers and service providers, it shocks the economy and also drives corruption because those small businesses are forced to pay someone to get paid their own money. Of course, that is not my favorite advice because there is a more excellent way. When my kids were young, cash flow. When my kids were young, I used to play with them a board game called Cash Flow. You can play it even as an adult. It taught them about powerful principles on money that some professors don't know. One of my favorite pastors used to say, "Tell the guy next to you, neighbor, it is." Let me add my own. Neighbor, you are not running a business if you don't know the numbers and how to use them. It is all the numbers. Get into those business numbers. When my business was small, I told a staff member who was very bright, spoke perfect English to increase the price of one of our products by 20%. The product cost $200 each, and the next thing I saw that it now costs $400. I was shocked. You said increase it by 20%, sir? He protested. Oh boy, this is not maths. It's just basic arithmetic. How can I advance someone who can't do something like this? Anyway, I sat him down and persuaded him to do some basic maths classes at night school, and he loved it so much and went to take accounts. Later, he would say to me, "Sir, I don't know what a disaster I was in. I have met so many adults who blissfully function without basic knowledge in arithmetic and wear it like a badge of honor. Now they might get away with it because of their generation. But let me warn you, for your generation of artificial intelligence, cryptos, and digital products, do that and poverty will be a companion in later years, if not now already. Things like balance sheets are nothing more than basic arithmetic knowledge. Don't be scared of it." Proud if knew what I know.